Hello and welcome to Ulai Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Virgo, our card tonight is the Queen of Wands. Which, look, we have a nice little wand on the outside here. You can see kind of just hanging out on the outside. So we do have a very passionate energy, one of great change and fortification, okay? The Queen of Wands, she has been through it. She's lived many lives, and she's kind of in that peak form. Right? She's in her power when she is in the Queen of Wands posture, or in that place, in that fiery, energetic place. And so let's go ahead and take a look and see what the tea leaves are going to say. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. So the first thing I saw looking at this was, it looks like we have 3 people right here. 1, 2, 3. This one looks like they're holding dowsing rods. Look at the face too, with the mouth kind of open. Kind of reminds me of like the crone, maybe a witch. Now dowsing rods are usually used to locate water, right? They would use them to find a place to dig a well, or if they're looking for a spring, or something like this. So I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like there really is this effort to kind of unearth something that has been hidden. I feel like you have noticed in your life there is some kind of strange feeling, like vibe, totally off, right? But you can't put your finger on it. There's something going on, right? There's something going on. And you're going to find out what it is. Absolutely. You will not rest until you do. You are a Virgo, after all. And we will find out, won't we? There's no hiding anything from us Virgos. Now we also have a shovel right here. You can see. Okay, so it is. You are unearthing something. Now, we have a person here who has a little heart above their head. You can see the head right here. This is the arm, the body, the legs kind of bent a little bit. We also have another person over here who reminds me of a cheerleader. Like the little pom-poms here. Here's the head, the arms, and the pom-poms, the body. So I kind of almost wonder if there has been somebody in your life, and it maybe is a spouse, it maybe is a significant other, it might be somebody you're dating, it could be a good friend. But I feel like whatever it is that they are into, or whatever they have going on in their private life, right? Their most private life, you're getting a weird feeling about it. There's just nothing, you can't get around it. There's nothing else to say really besides, something's up, but you're not really sure exactly what it is. And you can only really investigate so much. Now, are you going to give up? Probably not. Okay, I know we don't give up. We'll find out. But I feel like there's interference because we have kind of like maybe their family. First I thought mom, like their mom's lying for them. Like this is like a mom that would say, oh yeah, he was with me or she was with me all afternoon, even though, they're out doing whatever. I don't know, hopefully nothing like running around or you know, doing things that cross boundaries. But I think really it's just kind of this thing where there's a lot of gaslighting happening. And I don't even know that it's for something super serious. You know, I wonder if this is maybe even like a person who you just really, there's a failure of communication. They are emotionally unavailable in a lot of ways and unwilling to just talk about simple things. What are you doing this afternoon? Right? And it's like they just kind of very vaguely, and to a Virgo, you give me a vague answer and I'm like, well, what the heck else is going on? I want details. I want to know the play-by-play. Usually not even because I care. I don't even really care. I just want to know. I'm nosy. I'm a Virgo. You know? And as soon as you tell me, I'll probably forget too. That's the kicker. But I do feel like there is kind of this mismatch in that way. And it's like you spend so much time going around in circles because you feel like you can't get to know this person, or you don't really know what's going on with them because they're, you know, they're kind of like walled off in their own world. And so I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like, you know, part of you doesn't mind this kind of mystery. Although, yeah, I do think that you do have some ups and downs with the emotional aspects. And maybe at times that you have wondered what they actually are doing. Is it something nefarious? Is it something, you know, that goes against your relationship or friendship or whatever? But there's no evidence really, right? And I think, you know, this kind of can ruin your day. I mean, it could ruin your day, your week, months spent trying to figure out what the heck's going on here, right? So, I don't know. But I feel like for you, there's really this kind of feeling of like, do I walk away from this, or am I going to try to bury some of the old stuff, trying to forget about it, trying to get past it, so I'm not obsessing anymore? Because it does. When you get into these modes of playing the investigator, it's all you think about. This is all of your free time. And maybe even some of your time at like work or when you're with your kids, you know, and you start to think, oh my gosh, I've been, you know, looking at people on Facebook to find out who the heck they're talking to, or, you know, whatever it is, for the last like 4 hours. And I could have done so much in that time. And it adds up and it adds up. And it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And I think that's really, you know, this is a point where you are remembering yourself. You are remembering who the heck you are. And that this is not how you want to live. Always worried about what the heck this person's doing. Even if they're wonderful and great and maybe nothing's going on. Still, there's some reason that the trust is not there. And what is that reason? I don't know, but it feels like it is a torment to you on some level. Maybe not all the time, but when something seems a little strange, or they act a little weird or different, you know, whatever it is. And then it's like, yeah, that thing starts going off in the back of your head again. And you can't. It's hard to get past it. So I don't have great advice about this. You know, for me, it's always like I have to talk things out, which can be really, really tiresome. Not only for myself, but for, you know, whoever I have to talk these things out with. Other than that, I don't know. You know, this is hard. Maybe journaling. Maybe if you see a therapist or a counselor or talk to somebody you trust and care about, and they care about you, you're one of your safe people. But I think that, holding this in and letting it rule you that's the worst choice that we can make. Now we do have a key up here, and we have M, a lot of M's. So I feel like the letter M is really important right now. Maybe a person, maybe their name or a place, but it does seem important. Okay, so I want to ask about this key. What is this key going to help with? Right? What are we going to find here? And I'm just going to tell you, my guess is that it's going to be about choosing the love over everything else, right? And that could be love for self. It could be love for your partner. It could be just choosing to, stop succumbing to your worries of everything and just choosing to enjoy your life. And maybe it is even walking away from the relationship because it has gotten into this mode of, we have a few good days or we have a few good weeks, and then something happens and we're right back into this, questioning each other and not trusting and all that kind of thing. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to flip through. We have the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. We're going to see what these have to say. So we have loss, vision, impulsiveness. Okay. So I want to also, I'm going to do two more just to clarify a little bit. Drama, harmony. Okay. So I feel like, yeah, there's a feeling of the drama, the impulsiveness, and the loss. Okay. And this is like that real gloomy night side kind of vision of what's happening here. Okay. There's a feeling of maybe grief because you don't even know exactly what's going on, but you're in your mind, worst case scenario, right? Which puts you in kind of a place that might be a little dark, a little moody, a little bit angry or upset or paranoid or whatever. And then the drama really begins, right? The arguing, the bickering, the investigating, all that stuff. Okay. Now the impulsiveness, I think this is like your emotions are so heightened. And you know that it's important to temper yourself, to slow it down. Even if you did find something, right? You don't want to play all of your cards, put them all down at once. But there's this impulsiveness to just blow your top, right? Just to go wild on it. To walk away, say, I'm never doing this again. I'm out. I'm done. Nobody's better at the cutoff than a Virgo, right? But I think that really ultimately, and like I said, if you do walk away or if you end up staying and trying to work on things, whatever happens, right? I do feel like there is kind of this opening that happens. Working through this thing within self. Figuring out what is it about this situation, that really has me on edge. And I think that leads to having a wider vision, an openness, the ability to really be open and accepting of the universe, of the divine. And I think it will be potent. I think this is a potent time. I don't know about you, but when I'm going through some emotional and psychic chaos, yeah, I start to have really intense dreams, visions, encounters, all synchronicities, all of that stuff. So that makes sense to me. Now, the harmony. I feel like at the end of the day, we return to our harmony. And here's the thing about us Virgos, is that we feel things real big. But that doesn't last always that long. Like, it goes real hard. And then it's like, okay, we get to that point. We either keep it together or we begin this process of entropy, right? Everything is dissipating, falling apart, flying off at the seams, right? Or, right, we choose a way to kind of get ourselves more centered, bring ourselves down further to the ground, closer in our breath, and our ability to be relieved of all of those thoughts, that oppressive feeling, that worry. We realize this isn't ours. This is something, you know, this is a transient state, a transient feeling, emotion, impression. Everything is changing always. We do not belong to our emotions. Our emotions do not belong to us. And so as it leaves and you have room for something else, I feel like a harmony really does begin to kind of lie across the land, right? Everything is down a notch. And you're back in that place where you can see clearly, you can feel clearly. You're not, you know, trying to get the last word in or say the meanest thing or you know, meet their energy tenfold, you know? But yeah, I do. I see harmony returning, most definitely. Now we have the letter T over here, and we have a person pointing, we have a cat, we have a bird. And so I do feel that there's something with sticks. I don't know what this is. What is that they're showing me? A bundle of sticks. Picking up sticks, maybe. I feel like this is almost like doing yard work. Like you're out there picking up sticks and you're piling them up. This is with maybe a family member. I think you must be young or younger. But there seems to be a missing. You're missing this person. And I'm wondering if they have transitioned or maybe they're getting older and they're kind of just not themselves anymore. And I just keep thinking about you being with them, doing stuff outside, doing chores, but enjoying your time, really enjoying your time with them. And I feel like this is coming through, and they're showing me. These are the days that we spent together. We laughed and we argued and we, you know, at times you wanted to be there and be helpful, and other times maybe when you got older, you were a teenager, you just did not look forward to having to go spend time with your aunt or your grandparents or whatever. And there's just a sense of like, you're so loved. You're so loved, and the time that you had with this family member meant everything to them. There's a soul bond. And their name, I think it must start with a T. Or maybe the place, the town they lived in. I don't know. But I almost feel like we're right on the cusp of the equinox here. And I'm almost feeling like this is a good time to honor them. Maybe put a picture of them on the mantle, on your altar, something. Talk to them, write them a letter, sing them a song. You know, take them with you on your daily trips, your errands, your chores and things. But that's a love. That is a love that is, it is continued. It cannot be broken. They are with you. They are always with you. Okay, let's do our Cincy Child affirmation cards. And I'm just going to go ahead and flip through. Stop where it feels right. It says, I am grateful for my surroundings. I am grateful for my surroundings. All right. Well, Virgo, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Also, if you want to leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, especially if you're new to the channel. Definitely shout it out in the comment section. Other than that, I'm going to tell you again, I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk in just a few days. Good night. Good night. Good night.